Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brittany and I work for Magical Journeys and we specialize in Disney travel. We also do Universal. So if you want to plan a trip to Disney World, Disneyland, Adventures by Disney, Aulani, Disney Cruise Line, and like I said, Universal as well, please feel free to fill out a quote request form. I always have a link to my website down below. But as you can probably tell from my channel, Disney is really where my passion is. I absolutely love Disney. So please subscribe and like this video if you want to see more content. Now in today's video, I am going to talk about some time-saving hacks. Now, Disney World is expensive. That's just how it is. Even if you do get a discount, it is still expensive. And you want to spend your time wisely. Now, there are a couple of things that my husband and I do on every trip to make the most of our time, and I thought I would share them with you. Now, my first tip, and I have said this so many times, is do not bring a bag. Now, you have to go through security and you have to have your bag checked, and the bag check line is incredibly long, or it can be incredibly long. Now, if you don't have a bag, you can go through the metal detector and then you just have to take things out of your pockets and then they hand them back to you on the other side of the metal detector. But if at all possible, don't bring a bag. Now, we almost never, ever bring a bag with us when we go into the parks. It's pretty rare. So see if you can do without. I mean, we have pockets. We can put our phone in our pockets. When I have needed medication, I've gotten little like Ziploc type bags from the pharmacy that we can just put in our and one of us can put in our pockets. So if you try, you probably can do without bringing, a backpack, a purse, something like that. I know it's obviously different if you have very small children and they're in diapers and things like that, but you can probably do without. Water is available. They have plenty of water fountains. You can get a free cup of ice water at any, you can go to any quick service restaurant. A lot of times they just have like a cooler sitting on the side with cups. You can grab water. So don't feel like you absolutely have to bring something. I definitely understand the almost paranoia that you don't want to be without something. But I mean, my everyday purse, I have an insane number of things in there just because I'm worried I might need something when I'm at work or out. But at Disney, I really try very hard to not bring a bag for this reason. If you do have to bring a bag, put your items in a clear Ziploc bag because it is easier for security to take things out or move it around rather than having a bunch of individual items floating around in the bottom of like a backpack or a big purse. My next time-saving tip is get to the park a little bit before park opening. Now, we usually strive to be there 20 to 30 minutes prior to park opening. And then by the time we get to the actual entrance, that is getting into, if we're taking the Disney transportation, that's actually when we would expect the bus to arrive. And if we're driving, sometimes we have a rental car, that would be when we are expecting ourselves to park and allowing us enough time to walk to the entrance. Now, I say this, I mean, you are standing there and it can seem like, how is this saving time? Because now you're standing there doing nothing and the park isn't even open for 20 minutes. But the reason I say this is, in my experience, overwhelmingly, you can accomplish a lot in a very short amount of time if you're there right at park opening. Be prepared. I have used this phrase many times, the running of the bulls. Do not expect adults to act civilly. Please encourage your children I see parents encouraging their kids to like run ahead and get around people and jumping over like curbs and things, and it's like, okay, you're adults. I mean, so there's adults that are just so excited to be at Disney, I guess. But that being said, you can, if you're willing to deal with that, you can accomplish a lot in the very beginning, especially if you're there for morning extra magic hours. We still try to get there early, even before morning extra magic hours. And at that point, yes, it is early. I'll sleep when I'm dead, but a lot of people are not morning people, and because Disney offers a lot of late night extra magic hours and parks are open late, they would rather stay on the later end. So I think you're more likely to see the groups with very small children early in the morning. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, we always get to the park before park opening and hit the most popular rides first that are going to have extremely long lines later in the day. And we can go on sometimes 4 rides in the first hour. Going right along with that is to have a good plan. Now, I don't expect people to stay up and study a park plan. We don't write things down. We do not plan which rides we're doing when. To an extent with fast passes, yes, that's up to 3 rides a day, and we typically pick them. We're not going to pick a fast pass for first thing in the morning, with the exception of maybe if it's something like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train or Slinky Dog Dash, where the line is super long immediately. But if I was going to do, say, Pirates of the Caribbean or Haunted Mansion, even Thunder Mountain or Splash Mountain, if the park opens at 9, I would not pick a 9:05 fast pass for that, because like I mentioned before, if you're there early and you go straight to that ride, you're going to get on with little to no wait. I have been on the first car, the first log, the first train of many rides before by being there a little bit early and having a good park plan. Then I have my fast pass plan for later in the day. So for Seven Dwarfs, for example, I will have a fast pass maybe for 11 o'clock when the line is going to be even longer. And then I don't have to worry about waiting in the standby line, because you just want to make the best of your time, I guess. Keep in mind that the parks are going to be the busiest in the middle of the day. So plan your day around that a little bit. Now, my husband and I, like I said, we don't have an actual plan written out ahead of time. Usually on the way to the park, we'll say, okay, what are we going to do? Here are our fast passes. I say we do this, this, and this in this order. And then we'll be like, okay, good plan. Let's go with that. So no, we don't write everything down, and we just kind of talk about it like that. And then you have to be willing to go with the flow. Sometimes rides will have a delayed opening. Sometimes they will be down. You just have to be willing to go with the flow a little bit. And that is another good reason why it is important to make sure you have enough time at Disney World and not just plan one day per park, because if something is down and then you don't get to ride it, you're kind of out of luck. Next is to eat at less busy meal times. So not surprisingly, the busiest meal times for lunch, for example, are going to be from, I would say, probably 11:30 to 1:30 or 2. If you can eat outside of those hours, you're going to save yourself quite a bit of time. If you're willing to eat lunch at 11, or if you have like a brunch or a later breakfast and then you can eat lunch at 2, you're going to save yourself a lot of time in terms of quick service restaurants. Disney also has mobile ordering now, and that can save time as well. So definitely check that out. Try that out and see how you like it. I know we tried to use it. I want to say we've used it like once or twice. I was making a lot of modifications to my meal when I tried to do it, so it didn't really work out there. But I think Casey's Corner would be a really good option because it's like hot dog and fries, right? So you're not going to have a ton of substitutions for something like that. So I feel like that would be a really good first option to try out the Disney mobile ordering app. I wish they had it for Starbucks in the Disney parks. They do not. That would also save a lot of time, but as of right now, you have to wait in the standby, like they have a fast pass. You have to wait in just a regular line, but they do try. It's quicker than it looks. Okay, my next tip, if your goal is to save time, I would recommend collecting your luggage at MCO rather than having it delivered to your room. Now, if you are going to hit the parks right away and you don't need anything out of your luggage, then it's not going to be an issue, and then you can let them deliver it. And it can take I tell my clients, up to 4 hours for your luggage to arrive in your room. Keep in mind, if you have sunscreen that's over 3 ounces and you have to pack it in your checked luggage, it can't go in your carry-on. you're not going to have any sunscreen when you arrive at your hotel. So keep that in mind. If you're arriving later in the day and you're worried, say your plane lands at 6 or 7 and you have small kids, you're going to want to put them to bed. It would be better in those cases for you to just pick up your luggage from baggage claim at MCO and bring it with you on the bus. If you're going to do that, make sure you don't put your yellow luggage tags that Disney sends you on your luggage, because if you do, they don't even hit the carousel. They just pull them. It's a queue for the MCO workers. They just pull those bags and put them right on a Disney truck to go to Disney World. Also, when I say you're going to bring it on the bus with you, it will ride underneath the bus. When you get off the bus, you need to wait to collect your luggage and bring it with you, because at that point, Bell Services does not automatically take it and they won't deliver it to your room. They only deliver it to your room if you have the yellow luggage tag and they're transporting it from MCO to your hotel room. Hopefully that makes sense. Another one is to arrive at special parties or hard ticket events at 4 p.m. So if you are attending, for example, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party or Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, you need to have a special wristband. And there is a little bit of time that overlaps between when regular park guests during the day using a regular park ticket can stay in the park and when you can start arriving with your event band. Or I guess your event ticket. You get the band once you arrive. So this isn't really time saving, but it's making the most or making more of your time and stretching your dollar, I guess, because you can be in the parks a little bit longer. So if you are just planning on going to a party one day, you're not going to be visiting a park any other time other than going to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, you can go earlier in the day. You can go at like 4 p.m. You don't have to wait until the official party start time, which is usually 6, 7. You don't have to wait until that time. You can go a little bit ahead of time, and they will start allowing entrance with that band. Now, if you want to go before then, you have to have a regular park ticket. So you can get a couple of extra hours it'll probably be crowded, but you'll still be in the parks and you can get some things done using your event ticket. Another time-saving tip is to check with the character handlers to see how long they're going to be there. Now, characters can only be out and interacting with guests for a certain period of time before they have to go back and take a break, and then they will come out again. They always have a handler with them, which is a cast member, and they will be able to tell you how much time they have left. So you don't want to get in a big line and wait for however many minutes, only to find out that then the character has to go back and you're stuck either standing there doing nothing, waiting for them to come back, or leaving, having wasted your time. So check with the character handlers, ask how much longer they're going to be there before you get in line to meet some of the characters. Lastly, another time-saving tip would be to bring snacks with you into the parks. Now, you can't bring any glass, and you can't bring any free ice or dry ice. Now, by free ice, I mean you can't just throw some ice in a bag. It has to be enclosed in like a Ziploc bag or something like that. I'm not exactly sure why. I think it's just for security purposes, so it's easier for security to go through and they're not worried about you hiding things. I'm not exactly sure. But you can bring snacks. So you can bring, if you have like crackers and things like that for you or your kids, you can eat those things when you're in a long line and you don't have to get out of line and take time, or get out of line. I mean, you're not going to get out of line to eat probably, but go between rides and stand in line at a quick service restaurant or at a food cart to get a snack, sit down and eat, and then get in line again. So you are able to bring snacks. You can bring food as well. We just don't choose not to do that, but you can bring food into the parks. Like I said, no glass, no loose or free ice, and no dry ice. So some of these tips my husband and I have used. I want to say most of these tips, if not all of them, my husband and I have used or use every single trip religiously to make the most of our time and to make our dollar go a little bit farther. Because like I said, Disney's expensive, so you want to plan your time the best way possible and make the most of your money. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and click the thumbs up button, and I will talk to you next time. Bye, guys.